If no one's clicking, you're doing this wrong. Fix your listing now. I'm Josh Hackett, CEO of EHP Consulting Group. Let's dive in. As an Amazon seller, you could focus on a million things like TikTok influencers, Facebook ads, stuff like that. But what's the easiest to optimize to double your sales? That's click-through rate. Why? Because it's easier to double your click-through rate than it is to double your SEO or PPC results. The click-through rate affects everything. Your SEO, PPC, conversion rate. Without clicks, nothing else matters. Imagine if people saw your listing and just never clicked, you'll never generate a sale. So right now we're going to be diving into how to improve your click-through rate as quickly as possible. Okay, so first, what's the average click-through rate on Amazon? So right now, the average click-through rate on Amazon is 0.4%, right? So that's less than 1%. So if 100 people saw your listing, right, less than one person would click on it. So you want to try to get that above 0.5%, right? What you can do to see your click-through rate, if you're running Amazon ads, I want you to go to your campaign and I want you to click X on one of them and then add click-through rate right here. You can see ours is 0.83%. You want to get this as high as possible. You can see our click-through rate is almost 1% most of the time, so it's been getting better. If it's 1%, that means if 100 people see your product, one of them is going to click. That's a click-through rate. You want to get it as high as possible. This is 1.1% today, which is pretty darn decent, and then you can see, right? We want to improve that click-through rate, and I just want you to understand it before we dive into the next one. So there's three main things that help you improve your click-through rate. It's the first image, reviews, and title, right? So having a good title, having good reviews, having a good first image. We're going to be focusing on the first image today because it's one of the easiest to change. Getting more reviews is very difficult. Title's also pretty easy, but first image, people are visual, so they're going to be looking at your first image first. So let's optimize that. So we're going to go to Amazon. We're going to type in forearm workout, right? People are typing in forearm workout device, things like that, and they're trying to find different items. Now, what you want to do is do the 10-year-old test, right? If you showed this picture, this one right here, to a 10-year-old, would they know what it is? Would they know what everything is in this picture? If they don't, then you need to make it better, okay? So I'm gonna give you an example, right? If I showed this to a 10-year-old and I was like, what's this? What is this stuff? Eggs. What is that? Is that like a mouth guard? Like what? So if they're confused on what it is, that is not a good first image. Even if it looks beautiful, you wanna make it so easy for a 10-year-old to understand and up. You wanna make it very, very easy. So let's compare this first image to this one. If I showed this one to a 10-year-old, they would see the guy, he's like, oh, it's a weight machine. You can literally see what it is. Not only that, but they include a lot of details, which is packaging. They've got the packaging on the first image. So it shows that everyone wants to see packaging most of the time because it does instantly speak credibility and quality if you have packaging. So they put the packaging. They also have a little bit of instructions right here, okay? Next, they have a human showing the device being used. One on the right in one different way, another different way. Almost all the competitors, let's look at that. This one's terrible, this first image. This one at least shows the forearm. It doesn't show the packaging or anything. This is the one I'm mentioning right here. This one shows the packaging. Really high quality, but we really want to dissect this image, right? And I want you to understand what a good first image is, and that's why I am prioritizing this one. It shows the actual device, and it's a 3D image, so it's like almost looks too perfect. Then they show humans using the device, but not only are they just showing humans, they're showing men. So what's your target market? Is it men or is it women? And if they're focusing on men, if most likely men are buying this, they could try to have one man and one woman and see if that increases the click-through rate. You could A to B test your images, right? So that's something that you can do as well, but make sure that you're targeting the right market is my recommendation. If it's mainly men that's purchasing your item, you need to figure this out. Is it mostly men that's purchasing your item? If so, what ages are they, right? If it's older men that are 60 years old, you're gonna wanna add a 60-year-old on this just to A to B test it to see if that increases click-through rate. Because if they can see themselves using that item, they're gonna be the ones that are clicking. So make sure you do identify who's purchasing your item. Is it females? How old are they? What color hair do they have, right? Men, what types of men are buying it? How old are they? What are their hobbies? This one's working out. So you can see they're adding all that in, and that's what's helping them get more clicks. The click-through rate is higher, and of course they can A to B test it. They could add a female on the right just to see if that increases clicks, or a female on the left. Does that increase clicks, right? So this is what you want to kind of base a lot of your packaging on, your first image on, to make sure it passes that 10-year-old test. Not only that, it's extremely high quality, and then if you do have good packaging, if you can fit it in, that's going to add that extra boost. So no matter what category you're selling in, you could showcase and utilize this as a template to make your first image better, which in turn is going to help with your click-through rate. Next, I'm going to show you a category that desperately needs help, and it's a wrist ball trainer. I don't know if you've ever heard of these. I've never tried this, but I'm looking at these items and these pictures are like terrible, right? They're getting so many sales, so if someone came in and just had a better first image, I think they would probably, they'd probably kill it. This image is so small of the dude holding the hand. I just want you to, again, compare it back to the image I showed you of the last image compared to these images. This is so, I could show this to a 10-year-old. They would have no idea. So even if it says gyro ball, no idea. I'm even a little confused on how the heck it works. Now this video ad is extremely good, but we're working on the first image here. Now look, these people, they've got the packaging down, so it already looks, you can tell from this image compared to this one right here, it's got the packaging, so it's adding that high quality effect, but I still don't know what the hell it is, right? So really look at your listings, and if you follow these recommendations, just small changes and testing the first image, tracking the sales rank for a couple of weeks, that's gonna make the difference between generating double sales or your click-through rate being so bad that even running Amazon ads, you're having to spend a lot more money just to get in front of more people to get those clicks that you want. And you don't want to have expensive clicks. You want to have cheap clicks. And that's what we want you to do. And that's it for today's video. What do you think is the biggest mistake sellers make with their Amazon listings? Drop your thoughts below. If you learned something new, drop a like. And if you're an Amazon seller, I highly recommend subscribing to our channel because we're giving away great content that's going to help you in your Amazon journey. And of course, if you need help with increasing sales, anything mentioned in this video, or just help selling on Amazon, contact EHP Consulting Group. The link is right in the description to contact us or schedule a call. Also, our #1 service is our full A to Z Amazon account management service. This is where we'll fully manage your inventory, calling Amazon, customer service, advertising, increasing sales, and much, much more. The benefit of this service is so you can spend time working on your business instead of in your business every day, like calling Amazon for hours on end to fix an issue, optimizing your photos, all that good stuff. Let us do it for you so you can save time, money, and increase your sales with ehpconsultinggroup.com. I'm Josh Hackett, CEO of EHP Consulting Group, and I'm signing out.